This is the story of Seth Welsh, who was charged in 2018 with starving his kid that sadly didn't make it. Seth Welsh lived in such a dirty apartment that the police didn't believe that the starvation was an accident, which is why they had some questions for him.
I'm sorry you're going through this. I told you that earlier, but how long have you and is it Tatiana, right? I can keep it Tatiana. How long have you guys been married?
I don't know how long we've been married for, like 3 years. March 2015, I think.
Okay.
We've been together since September 2011.
Okay, and are all of your children your guys' children? Okay.
Why I am very anti-medical industry is because of what happened with her birth. She coughed one time, so they said that they had to keep her under observation for 72 hours to make sure she didn't have a breathing problem. She didn't have a breathing problem. She coughed one time to clear some birth fluid out of her lungs.
Right. And
they kept us under observation for 72 hours.
All the while you're paying for it?
Of course, yeah. The bill was about $15,000. So that was kind of a kick in the rear. And then afterwards, we had some problems where I actually had a doctor make a fraudulent CPS claim, and I actually forged paperwork and stuff like that. And I tried to make a complaint about it, but nobody listens.
That was also more of a get-rich scheme, wasn't it? Kind of like I'm gonna make some money off from a product that someone really doesn't need.
Yes.
Now Seth seems to blame the doctor's mistake and acts like he had nothing to do with his daughter's death, which the detectives know is untrue.
He issued two separate forms of paperwork. One that had a bunch of notes on it saying all sorts of bad healthcare things we were doing wrong, and the copy of the paperwork he gave to us that said she was fine. So that was about my last straw with it.
Was that to do with the helmet? And is that so it all started with, if I'm right, it all started with the helmet?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
it all started with the cough, but to the helmet.
I'm not a big fan of a lot of the immunization stuff, and so I kind of bulked against that, and they didn't like that either. They even got to the point where they, the first time we changed doctors, they called CPS on us just for changing doctors, because the doctor we were seeing was all the way in Byron Center. I'm done with medical stuff. We're home birthing. It's
the way to go anyways, isn't it?
I
heard. Hey, I'm coming whether you're ready or not.
So there you go.
So, and that's kind of what Tatiana explained too, is that she was going through immunization, she was with, and everything was kind of okay, but there was, both of you had done some research and you weren't too keen on immunizations, and then come along the helmet. Mm-hmm. You guys wanted to get a second opinion on the helmet, so you don't need anything. And so you chose not to get a helmet, and then that's kind of when the CPS referral came along, and the failure to thrive type referral, if this is sounding correct. Mm-hmm. She was born?
Yeah, she's, well, I guess I had it refreshed today. I guess from what Tatiana said, she's 14 ounces. So. Mm-hmm.
Wow, what's the odds of that?
Yeah, and she was even earlier too. That's why I just didn't, it never, bothered me too much that she was skinny. She came out.
Yeah.
Rather than addressing the mere 14 ounces that the baby weighed, Seth quickly changes the conversation to avoid getting into hot waters.
Where she had just been up pacing around all night, and then baby started sliding out. And things are a lot easier when you do them at home, I'll tell you what.
Well, yeah, you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah. And the position they put you in the hospital is it's bad medicine, just whatever.
What position are you at home?
And you just stand up.
Do you really?
Yeah, and the gravity just shoots the baby right down. They don't have you up, facing upward, pushing against the gravity. It makes no sense.
No, it actually would make sense if you think about it. Never seen it. So you have to just kind of be under there, like you're like the quarterback.
Yeah, she got up there. She was late for the delivery. She checked over the baby, said she's healthy.
Is that what she does? A midwife, they kind of tie off their tubes or whatever it is they have to do? And
yes. They do the dirty work that anybody could do. It's just a lot of us aren't. A lot of us just aren't willing to do it. But yeah, really, they her dinner, I feed her tons of solid food. I feed her 3 or 4 of those, those Gerber cups.
Yep.
And she just wolfed them right down, no problem.
Were you guys buying solid food or making solid food?
Both.
Okay. What were you making?
If we made anything, it was just like sweet potatoes grinded up, and she made them. They did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So what she was saying is, what she could recall, is like some vegetables out of your garden.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe whatever it was you had growing at that time.
Yeah.
And then she'd throw something in it, maybe breast milk, to make the vegetables more palatable. Whatever that word is. Palatable. Yeah. And then she would make like a little fruit smoothie, maybe some blueberries, some nuts, like that. And then she did say that potatoes and stuff like that. When did you guys start with her on solid foods?
It's been a couple months now. Since the beginning of summer.
Okay.
I would want to say maybe since April, because that's when Tatiana started working at her job.
So dinner time is fine.
Yeah, it was nothing too. We're not too, regulated. We're not too
Right.
uptight, but yeah, generally, she'd get up. Let's just say general timing, it'd be up again, 4:30 to 5. She'd eat 5:30, be back in bed by like 6:30.
Okay. And then she'd be back in bed at 6:30. Then when was the next feeding?
A lot of times I think that's probably my wife breastfeeds her at night.
Oh, when she got home from work.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I wouldn't really know about that.
Because you'd usually be in bed by then.
Yeah, so
Early mornings on the farm.
Yeah, so so my wife might breastfeed her in the middle of the night, or breakfast time when she gets up again.
So typically speaking, that dinner meal would be because then she would sleep till your wife got home, and so that would be the last. So you have to just feed her really
Once.
Yeah. Or if she wanted to goof off a little bit before her feedings, you might split that once up into twice. So at what point did you guys become concerned about her weight?
Okay, so it's always kind of been there. It's always been something that we've watched. However, it never seemed to cause, because it never did. But I just know you guys are watching my words, so it never caused her. Let's put it this way: she never was sickly in any way, slow, lethargic. No health indicators that said anything was wrong, other than that she was skinny, which I just didn't let it get to me, because, like I said, very skinny. She started putting on weight recently. We really started pounding the solid food down in the last month or so, really making sure she gets some chicken, potatoes, cheese, stuff.
The detectives don't quite believe that they started feeding the baby more, since it was so skinny that it looked like she hadn't eaten anything for weeks.
So when you started putting the high proteins, how recently was that?
Month or two.
Okay.
And
because that's what Tatiana said, is that probably the last month or two is when you guys actually became a little concerned about the weight.
yeah, but I kind of was like, because my mom's always been honest about it. Always.
She's always on it. Get some food in this kid.
Yeah, she always says, what are you guys feeding? Mom, go look at the garbage. I mean, there's I can't feed the kid enough.
Right.
She just.
When was the last time your mom was on you about it?
Last week, Sunday.
Not this last Sunday, the one before that?
Yes.
Okay. And you were at your mom's, or she was at your place?
She was at our house.
And she thought that she was gaining weight?
She remarked that her cheeks seemed a lot fuller.
Okay.
I don't remember that specifically.
So a month or two ago, you two became concerned and started putting some proteins to her, some chickens and cheeses and whatever, just trying to bulk her up a little bit. And did you believe it was starting to work?
I seemed to definitely notice that she was getting heavier. Tatiana mentioned it to me. My mom mentioned it to me, so I would say yes.
So Tatiana thought she was getting healthier too, and that she was getting bigger. Okay.
Because she's always been growing long, she's just never put the meat, like never put the meat on.
Right, yeah. So Tatiana, correct me if this is wrong, Tatiana said that, and kind of what you said, but especially about the last month, you guys became concerned that you started very consistently and regularly, heartily praying over, Lord, help her gain weight. Does that sound right?
I don't, she may have. I haven't really been so much, but I'm glad to hear she was.
Yep. So, you guys, you when she started losing her weight, you thought maybe it was just a growing spurt, and she had lost weight, and so she was getting, and is that what you attributed her I'm sorry, not the weight loss, the sleeping, to a growth spurt? Is that what you attributed it?
I've done this, I think, maybe 3 times in the last week where she slept so long I had to nudge Tatiana and make some jokes now that I would.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you don't really think too much of it at the time. Then, where she had been sleeping for 15, 16 hours straight, and, Tati just went and woke her up. She woke right up. Oh, look who's a hungry baby kind of thing, So today when it happened, I didn't really think anything of it differently. I just thought it was, another sleepy baby. She was, especially, my wife, keeps her up all morning, so she's just exhausted sometimes by the time she goes to bed. And, if she doesn't make a peep, if she doesn't make a sound, or if she's in there and, everything, as far as I know, everything is fine when she's put down, I'm not inclined to wake the kid up.
But Seth, here's the thing, is that she's so tiny. Was there never a time that you just well, there's something really wrong?
There was never a time where I thought there was something really wrong. I did say to Tatiana, hey, with her being the age she is, let's really try to see if, the protein, the fat and the protein as her digestive system is developed, let's see if that kicks things into gear, and if not, let's go see a doctor. Because, she's a skinny little girl.
When did you have that conversation?
I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, because even at that point, I was just a little, how's it going to hurt?
So how much, 2 weeks ago, how much did you figure that she weighed?
I don't know.
Was she the same size now, smaller, bigger?
I don't know.
Okay. So today, tell me about today. I know it's tough.
Yeah, just kind of woke up like a regular day. I wasn't feeling very well last night. So I kind of, I slept in because I didn't sleep very well. I think I rolled out of bed 8 to 8:30 to care of some chores. Then I lay back down, and then my wife told me she was going to go right up the street to the neighbor's house to go get some kids. And when she came back, I woke up.
So what did you do when she told you that?
I split out of bed and raced to the room.
So you're helpless, right? You didn't know what to do.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I could tell she was dead from looking at her.
But Tatiana couldn't.
She's a mom.
Right.
So.
Yep.
I'm used to dealing with a lot of dead bodies with the farm.
Yeah.
So I know what they look like. That was that.
His child died just this morning, and it really doesn't seem to bother him much, which makes the detectives question if what he's saying is true.
So what did Tatiana do?
She tried to do CPR.
So were you in there when she was doing, were you in the same room with her when she was trying CPR?
Yeah,
And then what were you doing?
She's the one who knows how to do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I was looking, and what to do, thinking about, just trying to think about what to do next.
So what did you do next?
Call my dad.
Okay, and then what did you tell your dad?
I don't know what to do.
What did he say?
Well, I kind of figured I was supposed to call the police. I don't know. I don't have any experience with it now.
Sure.
Well, I didn't then. I do now. So I just called him and said, hey, should I call the police or what? I don't know how this works. And he said, yeah, we'll be on the way. Call them when we get there, kind of thing. It had been about an hour and some change, and I was starting to get impatient because I did not want to. I know how it looks when people wait to make a police call, so I just.
So you called prior to your.
So I got impatient. I called them. I'm like, are you guys here yet? Because it's like 11:05 now. I knew there was going to be a process too, so I wanted to get things going. And they were in Cedar at the gas station, and they're like, yeah, we'll be there. And so then I called you guys.
So, because obviously you're going to tell us a man. So obviously for us, and you just said it yourself, it looks weird, right? But I'm saying you didn't know what you're doing, but in our world, we deal with this a lot, because we don't know every single person in the county and everyone's personalities.
Sure. And I wanted to just call you guys first, but I was following my legal advice. So I'm sorry if that is a problem at all. I just doing what the lawyer told me to do.
No, and well, here's the thing. I'm not saying so. I'm just telling you. I'm just confirming what you said. It looks weird. That's all. We're not saying that you did something horrible in those 2 hours. We're just saying that it's not the norm. So, so what did you guys do during the 2 hours?
I sat there and cried.
Yeah.
Tatiana called it her job.
Yeah.
She was always very healthy. She was never sick.
She answered that way.
Yeah, so it never, if she had been sickly in any way, it would have been, okay, that's it. She's sickly and skinny, but she was always just skinny.
But Seth, that's where I'm going to disagree with you. Okay? I'm a parent. I'm a father. I have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
He's a father. You're a father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I'm just being honest with you. Okay? Because I don't know how to be anything other than. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this job for a long time. Okay? And he'll tell you when I walked in that bedroom today, all right, I started crying. Okay? I looked at that little baby, and I looked at her for a millisecond, and I knew that she wasn't right. And I knew that she wasn't right for some time. Okay? And you're her father.
Yep. And I'll tell you, I saw her when she was dead too. She was much more gaunt when she was dead than she ever was when she was alive. I mean, I got pictures on my phone.
Right, but let me ask you this: when's the last time you saw that baby without any clothes on in a bath?
Me, I've never given her a bath.
Okay, but you changed her diaper maybe a day and a half ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth. You said that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How did you not, when you looked at her a day and a half ago changing her diaper, and realize that my daughter is skin and bones? When I looked at her belly in the house, okay, and I'm not exaggerating this.
Oh, I know.
I could see the outline of her intestines through her stomach. I could see her spine completely through her back. I could see every one of her ribs through her chest.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, like I said, I'm not happy about it either. You're welcome to go through my garbage and look at the baby food containers, and
Seth, here's the thing. I'm certainly not knocking on his faith. I have the same faith in the same creator that you have. Does your faith prevent you from allowing you to use medical services?
No.
So you would use medical services, or you would not? So It's
Some.
just your experience that prevents you, not your faith.
No, in some ways, like for example, on the immunization, it started out with a rational concern. But yeah, faith-based, you'd have to strap us down to a table and put it in there.
Okay. Does that apply to your children too?
Yes.
Okay.
Would I do anything different? Oh yeah, I totally would. I would have listened to my elders. I would have taken her to go see a doctor.
Because that's what your parents were telling you.
You said your elders?
Yeah, older people who would say, oh, she's, like what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
So,
How far back would you go when you would do something different?
how far back would I go that I would do something different?
When would you take her?
When would I have taken her?
Knowing what you know today.
Knowing what I know today, I would probably take all the kids to the doctor, at least the preliminary stuff.
Looking back, was it a week ago? Was it 2 weeks ago? Was it 3 weeks ago? Was it a month ago? When would you have done something different? When you this didn't happen overnight. She didn't get this malnourished and skinny overnight. Okay, this is a lengthy process. Okay, and this has been going on for some time. That's what I'm asking. At what point, you knowing what you know today, if you could go back and reset the clock to try to prevent today, how far back do you think you would go?
I don't know, because I can't tell you. Maybe the first mention somebody had that I respected, that she was too skinny. That she was too
How
thin.
long ago was that?
I don't know. Like I said, she's been skinny since she was born.
So how many people that you respected have told you that?
My mom and my mom.
How was your dad? You probably figured dad's just back in your mom's plate?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, today, at what point today did you and or Tatiana think, this doesn't look good? The size of her, all of this doesn't look good.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. We kind of woke up and she was dead. So.
No, but I mean after that, when you were thinking that this is as far as it doesn't look good that we didn't get her the medical treatment or whatever. At what point today did you think that?
I don't know. I guess I haven't really worried about it too much.
Okay.
The detectives keep questioning Seth about why he never took the child to the doctor, and Seth suddenly gets really defensive.
What am I going to do? Inject her with liposuction? And what are the doctors going to do?
But, because here's the thing.
There's more. You know what the leading causes of death in this country is, don't you?
Well,
yeah, it's medical malpractice.
It is. I'll give you that.
It's more dangerous. It's more dangerous to take your kid to the doctor than to leave
That's
them
not
alone.
what most people think. Most people think it's cops, but...
I get what you're saying.
So there you go.
No, I get what you're saying, because there's some stats that go along with some of this. But here's what I'm saying, though, is on this case, when we know, because I know you guys are doing what you're saying you're doing. I know you're feeding them protein. We can see it. We're not dumb either. We can look around the house and say, these guys are piling food in this girl. So when that's not working, then we know there's something. There's Crohn's disease, there's diabetes. There is a disease that has to be, that's not allowing this girl to absorb the nutrients for these foods, and you know that.
Yeah, you're correct. I do know that. I guess I never thought of it. Where there's no family history. Like I said, recently, regardless of what the pictures show, people who've been around her for 10 months, commented. We all noticed that she was getting bigger. So I was just like, oh, finally, okay, we're through that stage. I was worried for a little bit there, but she's putting on the weight now. She's clearly getting heavier. So I kind of thought we were through it.
Let me ask you an honest answer. Do you feel responsible in any way for what happened today?
feel like that's a bit of a trap question, but
No, or do you just
straight honest.
or do you think it's just God's will?
Well, just because it might be God's will doesn't mean that there's not that it's not His will according to our actions, or it doesn't mean that we're not responsible in some way for what has come about. And so, I take responsibility on myself for anything that goes wrong in my life at all, even if it's totally not my fault. What could I have done? I'm sure you've had something like that in Marine Corps, where it's just like you're not always in control of everything, but take care of what's on your end to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And
You gotta watch your six.
yeah, so for me, do I take some responsibility? Oh yeah, I'll never forget it. And I doubt there'll be like 30 minutes where if Tatiana carries this baby to term and you guys let us keep it, I doubt there'll be 30 minutes where there's not somebody checking through the people with a light on in the room.
How did that hole get in the door again?
About 5 years ago, when I styled myself a patriot and a gun nut and all that good stuff, all that cool right-wing stuff, I was working on my AK in the gas tube. I was a total idiot, and like the gas tube was stuck, and I was trying to bang it in there, and I went, and the hammer flew out the back of my hand right into the door.
Hey, the AK don't work, get a hammer.
Well, why is Tatiana saying she put the hole in the door? That's what I'm confused about.
Because she went through a lot when she was a kid. Her memory can sometimes be a little about details and stuff like that. So I don't know why she'd say that.
Well, we're gonna get you guys out of here in a second, but
I have a difficult question to ask you, because, and I'm asking this, and maybe it was asked, but I know I'm gonna be asked this question in the morning. So, have you or Tatiana or your mother and father back at the house, did anybody talk about funeral arrangements, what funeral home you would like her to go to, or?
Yeah, we've kind of touch and go dealt with it.
something you guys gotta start thinking about.
Yeah, I take it I can't just like bury her under an apple tree or something like that. No.
You have to ask. We don't know all the rules of burying and stuff. I don't know. Maybe you can get a permit to do something like that.
Yeah, or you gotta Google it maybe.
Yeah. I have no idea. But you can't just bury her under without getting some kind of process as far as we know. So.
Yeah, my mom said she knows people, so she would do anything.
Both Seth Welsh and his wife Tatiana were convicted in August of 2018 of first-degree murder on counts of negligence and malnutrition, and they were both sentenced to life in prison without parole.